Well, what we're going to do here is we have a 1977 XR75 typical seat, all tore up from the floor up. So the first step, I don't talk a lot on these videos, I just do the shit instead of talking on, a phone mounted on my dashboard and having my big mug on the TV for 25-30 minutes before we start. Here we go. So what we're going to do is take these tabs and we're going to bend them down all the way around, and I'm going to show you why, for some reason, I've done a lot of seats, and this little one right here just seems to get in there and get them angled up. So I'm going to go all the way around. All right, I got it all off. This looks to be the original seat cover. There's the cover. That's gone. Now you can see that it's got the protective strip here. Now I've used these, you can heat them up, clean them up, heat them up, put them back on. And then the cover, there we go. So here's the seat pan. And I'm going to clean it up. There's one tab that, oh, there it goes. Actually, this one here too. But there's plenty more. And I'll show you. You can put a small screw in there and replace this with a screw from the back side. Now, this is what I bought. 77 through 79 XR75. And there's new protective strip. Here's the seat foam. And I bought it from RE-MX. And I called them and asked them if it's gonna have a texture that is the same as the OEM seat cover, and I never really could get an answer. I mean, they answered, they didn't know. They said it's got a little bit of a grain to it. But as you can see, the grain on this and the grain on this, it's dead nuts. It's really, really good. So the first thing I wanted to do was just to make sure that the seat foam is going to lay properly on the pan, and that is laying there perfectly. It just hugs it beautifully. So now got to clean this up, and I'm going to paint it because I'm doing a really high-end restoration on an XR75, so it's going to be it's got to show really nice underneath here. I almost thought I could get away with just cleaning it, and I'm going to show it to you clean. And there it is, cleaned up. And this kind of would resemble what it would look like with a little bit of dressing on it, which isn't all that bad. It's not hugely rusted out, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint it. And I did a little bit of wire wheeling and just wasn't cutting it, so I did a blasting, and so now I'm just going to give it a coat of paint, and this looks fantastic, for just a seat pan. I've got to get this tape off, and that really cleaned it up, and that'll stop the rust for many years. This will be here for a good long time. So let's start with the foam. Also, I bent all these tabs out so they're straight out to get a little more grip when we get the seat cover on. Just want to make sure that fits again. Oh yeah, looking really good. Now I moved this out. This was kind of dented in, and there's a little crimp tab way back in here that I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to get the seat cover on. So now let's put on the protective strip. I typically use this black super weather strip adhesive, but this is gripping really well, and I think it's because of the fresh paint. There could even be a little adhesive inside here, so I'm not going to have to use that, but I'm going to have to use the heat gun because it is definitely cold, and this is all coiled up. So I'll work on this, and we'll probably just start one side and then heat it up as we go. I got a little bit there heated up. And I'm going to heat this up. So I'll do that, and when we get it all wrapped around, we'll start mounting the cover. And we're all the way around. And there it is. Yeah, this doesn't need any glue. This is really good. Really good stuff. I ordered, enough to do 2 seats, so I've got some left here. There we go. So, I think this is going to be a fairly easy seat. First thing you try to do is center it, but you see how this has this rib here. Piping, it's going to almost self-center itself. And now we'll pull it over the front. You just have to work it, work it, work it. So you can see I'm trying to pre-fit it a little bit and make sure that this edge and this edge are fairly similar before I go and start on the back. And what you do is just poke the little tabs through the seat cover, and then use something to bend it down. And I'm going to do 3 of them here. And then I'll move to the front. See how that is. And I'll move to the front, bring this up, try and keep it centered. That's pretty centered, so that would be now these little guys here are rounded off, and it looks like they're on purposely rounded off. So I'm going to have to actually cut a slit in that. Take these gloves off, maybe I can do it better. And there we go. Now what I did is I got the center one. I did a side here. And I did a side here. And I'll firm those up a little later. But I just want to make sure I want this to be right. This is a very important piece right in here. And I'm liking it. And when I get all this tucked in, I'm liking that a lot. I'm liking the way it's looking. When you imagine that coming down, and that coming down, that looks perfect. So from here, there's not a whole lot. You do the side in the middle. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And I like this line. But I'm seeing that this is going to be difficult because it really almost is too small, the seat cover. It's fine here. This can be stretched, but we'll see. So the first thing is I'm going to take it in right here on the sides. I'm going to take it in and start here, and I'm going to try and roll this way. So I'm just going to be able to get the stitching to barely go around. Catch that one right there. And as you can see, that's right on the line. And you can see I've got that here, I've got that there. And that took a lot of stretching. But I'm not going to work this front because I know I've got plenty here. And I've got plenty here. So I'm going to try and hit this problem area right here. And what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to heat up this seat just to get it to stretch, but I'm not going to bore you with that, but you'll see it's starting to take shape here. Well, it was a lot of work on this one, more than I ever thought I'd have to do. I thought this was going to be a slam dunk, but we got it. It's totally rebuilt, stretched, and it might loosen up with a little heat. Not that it needs to, but I mean, I'm right on it here. This little stitching is right there. So if it does sit in the sun when summer finally does come, and if I can pull that down and grab it a little bit tighter, then I will, but it's fine just the way it is. It's beautiful. It's going to be nice on the 75. So how did I do it? Well, let me tell you one thing. The seat cover from ReMX and the foam are quality, but there's just not enough material. So look at all the foam I had to pull out just to get it close. And I also put the trick of the cellophane wrap over the foam so that this cover can slide real easy. And that way you can kind of gain something on it and pull and stretch it a little easier, because that foam is kind of sticky. So there's a little bit of plastic food wrap that I just wrap the foam in. You can't see it because I only have it on the top of the foam. I was wondering if there's a place in here I could actually get a look at the, maybe in there. No. So anyhow, there it is. That's how you do a seat cover on an XR75.